All right. Well, I don't know if I'm live or not, but I think I am. Just trying to test out the connection here in Santiago, Chile. I am here for the IEEE Executive Board meeting. And I just got in today. It's a very long flight from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this says that I only needed 5 megabaud to stream. Hey, Steve, I was just testing. Good morning, or good afternoon, actually. It is 1:12 p.m. here in Santiago, Chile. And I was just testing. I was trying to think about what I want to do for Tuesday's IAEI News Live. I was thinking I was 2 hours ahead. Our meeting is over, I think, around 12 on Tuesday. I might record my session. I don't know. I am thinking about it. But here in Santiago, it was a long trip, overnight. Left yesterday. Excellent. Southwest Florida is A-OK. Thanks for joining in, David. We were just doing some testing, trying to see if I had enough bandwidth on the Wi-Fi here in the room, and apparently I do. No, David, I went from Pittsburgh to DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, and I'll tell you what, it left. I got something to show you, Steve, in a second. I left, my flight was late getting out of the gate from Pittsburgh. And my flight from Dallas was at 7:40. We landed in Dallas at 7:05. So we had to get to the gate. Thank God I got upgraded to first class. I ran off the plane, and I had to go from C gates all the ways over to D gates. So that meant I had to get off the plane, make a left, go down the hall, go up a tram, go up a escalator, get on a tram, and the tram had to make 3 stops. On the third stop, I got off, went down the tram, ran down the international area, and oh my God, I was the last one on the plane, and she looked at me and she's like, "Boy, we're glad you're here." I was like, "You have no idea," because if I would have missed that flight, I would have had to flown tonight. And I landed at about 8:05 a.m. Santiago time, which is an hour ahead of East Coast. So if it's 12 noon on East Coast, it's 1 o'clock p.m. here. So we landed at 8:05 a.m. this morning, and got to the hotel. But I tell you what, getting between those two gates, I didn't think I was going to go. I was texting the guys down here in Santiago, said, "I don't know if I'm going to make it," but I made it. So, yeah, thank goodness. It's exactly right. I'll tell you what, if I would have missed that, David, I would have had, you know what I would have had to have done? I would have had to have gone to Lupe Tortillas for a dinner. My wife said, "I think you're going to miss this plane just to go to Lupe Tortillas." So, David, on my last trip down here, my Eaton's got a plant and whatnot down here, but they gave me this copper pen. I don't know if you could see it. There it is. Look at that. Whoa. That is an Eaton copper pen. Look at that. So I brought it with me so I can write with it while I'm here and show off my copper, because Chile is the land of copper. You've done 19 countries, Steve. Man, Well, I had a couple adapters, so I brought this, and I was talking to Nihad. Nihad El Sharif is here. He came in yesterday, so he had one good night's worth of sleep. I caught about maybe an hour or so of sleep. That's about it. But I brought this connector for this place here, but it's the wrong one. So I every time I travel, I have a smorgasbord of stuff, and so this is the one that works. They're smaller than these. These pins on this one are smaller than the pins on this one. But you know, I can always I can always double dip. You know, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate, so to speak, and I bought another connector, which is I'm using to power up this camera, so I can't unplug it, but it's 240 volts here, and so I had to make sure my power supplies were all rated for 240 volts on the incoming. And everything was. So once I get to that, I go to these little bricks. Where's it at? Oh, right here. So I go to these little puppies, and this is 240 volts on that side, and I come out USB, and I power everything I need. So I get multiple receptacles out of one, so that's a good thing. So anyway, just if you're traveling to Santiago, Chile, don't bring these. These are good in Germany and over in Europe, and I don't think the UK. I forget what these are. There's a class. These are type, I needed L, which is on that one there. So I think I'm good to go. I might unplug this one. I think I can, because I'm on battery. I'm going to try it. If I lose you, I'll be right back. No, I didn't lose you. So, and I'll show you what I got. Because, no, I can't. Oh, I'll plug this one in. So I'm going to plug this one in. I'm going to plug that one in, because that'll work. It's just not grounded. All right, so that's plugged in. That's now fired back up again. So I bought this one. I bought this one in the airport on the way down because I knew these were not going to work, because Nihad, thank God, was here and he sent me pictures. Last time I was here, I had this exact same problem. These things didn't work. And you know, you think that I would learn from my mistakes? No. Second time's a charm for me. So I bought this beast. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at that. I bought this at, I mean, it is, this is the connector I'm using. That center one's ground, and these are your two hots. And then if you press a button, if I press a button here, and I can bring that down, and then I can, these things are labeled. They're labeled. What are they labeled? I thought they were labeled. I've been in Europe, June 2017, acquired a square blue combination adapter. Yeah, 6 different connection types. That's exactly right. So this one here, David, this one has, this is that same European. So you see that? So these will fit in here. All right, so they'll fit in there like that. And inside, you can see the ground. That side pin right there, that's a ground. So, and then this one just accepts a bunch of different types. Okay, so I sort of like this. All right, so where is it? Yeah, so they got the different types. They have the different types. So I'm going to slide. I'm going to start with this one, and then I'm going to work my way up to that one, and that one. So that one there pushes out that. And then I can take that ground pin and I can move it back so it's in like a little bit of a triangle. And I can move it back to the center so it's nice and straight. Okay, so that's the first one, and it's up. Now to get it down, I press the button, push it back. The second one is that puppy. And I don't know what country that's for. It's in the instructions. I could have swore it was labeled. And then I press the button and extract it. And then the third one, I think that's China. I think that's China right there. And then I press the button, bring it back, and then I bring this one up. And that's the U.S. Look at that. I can use that in the United States and the Americas, most of the Americas. You can use it in North America, South America, Central America, North America, United States of America, and I think that's about it probably. There's probably some other countries that use it, but some other areas of the globe. But in any case, I brought this, and I'm going to throw one of these. I should have two of these, but I've got this one, and I've got that other one, which is similar. So that's where I'm at. I'm tired, and I'm going to work on the IAEI 2026. 2026 code changes. I'll tell you what, we have a crack crew that is basically really kicking butt and taking names. Drink up. Drink up. I got water. I'm thirsty. So this says drink up. Doesn't it say drink up, refrescate? And that says it's on us. So, and it's, I don't know what vintage this is, but it's Pour Venir. So it's probably aged 25 years maybe. I don't know. But we've got a really good team working on the 2026 code changes. And Mark Hilbert and I are looking at Chapter 4 right now. He sends, so we've got this thing going on where he sends me his 2024, his chapter, and then I go in and I make sure, I look at first draft and second draft, make sure that it's all good, and I'll maybe do some reformatting and add some stuff, and then we get it over to the larger group. I put it up on the, I combine it with the overall, we have a SharePoint site where we're sharing out, and we have a group of individuals working hard. I know David Williams is there, David Humphrey, Kyle Krieger from NICA is helping with it, Mark Hilbert, myself, oh my gosh, we got a whole crew. I can't remember all the names, but in any case, we're doing what we can with what we got. And I tell you what, and the graphics are going to be really nice this year. This edition, we're going to have some really good graphics, illustrations, pictures. Trying to make a point of it to make sure that we have a good one. So David, you got one just like this, huh? I tell you what, I tell you, it's worth its weight. And Steve, adapter Article 100 defines us as adapting a circuit from one configuration to another with the same current rating. Same current rating? What about same voltage? Same current rating? I guess it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it has to have the right voltage rating too. Don't you think? I don't know. Something doesn't smell right about that one. Steve, what do you think? Same current rating. What about voltage? You would think that an adapter, I mean, these adapters, now, you can buy, which I did buy once. I bought because I thought I had to. And I learned I didn't have to, so it sits at home. But they do sell these square modules that convert it to 120. There's a little fan in there, and you're not supposed to run them like all day and all night or whatnot. They're for specific use, I think. Yeah, Steve, that's what I was thinking, but that's what it says. That's really weird, isn't it? I wonder if I can move that up. Yeah. See, I don't want to cover up my name. I mean, come on. You know, I was thinking of doing is putting a little blurry on the bottom. There's the adapter. Article 100 defines as adapting a circuit from one configuration to another with the same current rating. I mean, you think about these adapters. This adapter. Where's my glasses? I was just reading. There's a maximum current. So you think about it. I'm plugging this in on a 240 volt, probably 20 amp or whatever circuit, and this is 10 amp max. It says right on the front, 10 amp max, 230 volts, 2500 watts max. This adapter does not convert voltage. So it says it right on the front. I don't know if you could read. It says 10 amp max. So I call this an adapter. I don't know what else you would call it. But it's not on a 10 amp circuit. It's on a much higher ampere rated circuit. So I think, I don't know. Oh, yeah, to plug this in, I got to take that out and then I can plug this in. So this, and this one says, look what this says on the bottom. Look what it says right there on the bottom. 7 amp maximum. All right, so this is 10 amps. I can drop it, but I have 2. I can plug that in here. That says 10 amps. This is 7 amps. I would still call it an adapter, but it's not the same current rating. They make sure they tell you multiple times that this adapter does not convert voltage. And it even says it's an adapter right on the inside. Real small words. It says this adapter does not, so this is an adapter. Not an adapter, it's an adapter. So, I don't know what to tell you, Steve. I'm in a quandary. So anyway, we're going to have a really good code changes document this year for this cycle. I'm excited about it, and I don't know if who's out there is going to be at Supercode. You'll get to see a first, a work in progress. So Supercode is up in Massachusetts, Plymouth, Mass, and which I have not booked anything for yet. It's up in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It does. Yeah, you're right, Steve. It doesn't. I'm perplexed. So at Plymouth in Massachusetts, you're going to be able to see, if you're there, you'll be able to see the work in progress for the 2026 code changes from the IAEI. What we're doing, and David, I think you'll like this too, is we have multiple eyes looking at every single page, and we are working to, hey Robert, we are working to make sure that the verbiage is correct. We're pulling out and extracting the code text that demonstrates the change that we're speaking to. We're also putting in the ideas or the thought of what the code language means. And it's interesting because we will have our debates on exactly what the intent was. We'll read the panel statements, we read the public input comments. Hey, Robert, thank you, sir. We are. Maybe that's why, Steve. If that's a CMP 15, does it only apply to a certain article? If it's generic, in my opinion, it should be governed by Panel 1, not 15. But in any case, we are reviewing the language, and we're arguing and debating on what the intent is. And there are a few areas where the language isn't quite ready yet for prime time, so we're putting those in the book. And we had this debate in the last call about one of the sections where it didn't seem to make sense, and there were a few people that said, well, let's just not put it in the book. And then I was like, well, I think we should put it in the book, because even if it doesn't make sense, if the language is confusing, it's okay to say, look, here's what the language says, here's what the submitter's intent was, here's what the panel statement indicates, and maybe there's a conflict, maybe it's still a gray area, and we can leave it for discussion. And the concern of a few people was that, well, what happens if the discussion takes 3 hours, and then your 4-hour presentation was on one article or one section? But that has to be managed by the presenter. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay to put things in the book. If it's language that's in the code that our inspectors are going to have to navigate, then we should at least say, hey, look, here's an opportunity to discuss with your electricians or your contractors to get alignment on how you want to handle this, because it's not very clear. So anyway, so we're doing a lot of that. I am going to. That's right, Robert. You're 2 hours behind me, so it is morning for you. It's 1:35 here in Santiago. But we are. What I really like about the process that we're changing, or the process of developing these code change, this PowerPoint, what I love about the process is we are collaborating, and we're getting it right. We've got our graphics developer listening to every call. We are feeding him information. He is drafting up the images, submitting them to the team. We're all looking and we're all commenting on them. It's 12:35 in Southwest Florida. Yeah, you're an hour behind us. So Robert is so Steve, you're saying that it's Article 520. So let me see if I can. Am I online? I'm going through my phone. I don't want to go through my phone. I want to go through hotels guest. I'm going to go through hotels guest, and I got to put my room number in. Oh, Juan. We really need help in El Salvador with the electrical industry. We need to educate the electricians. Hey, Juan. No code knowledge here. Really? El Salvador. Well, we got to get to El Salvador. Let me put my room number in. Let me get into this. Let me ask you, Juan, is it a Spanish-only speaking area? Do we need Espanol? Mi español es piquito, muy piquito. So I'm curious if you hable inglés in El Salvador. But I'd love to know, El Salvador. How far is it from where I'm at? How far from Chile? Maybe I'll swing on up. Oh, man. I am exhausted, Juan. El Salvador. Because we were just in Costa Rica. We're going to be in Guatemala. How far away from Guatemala? Because you're in Central. Yeah. So, you know what, Juan? I am going to be in Guatemala later this year for the IEEE Electrical Safety Workshop. We're going to be in Guatemala City. I don't think that's too far away from you. Is it? If you guys are English speaking, let me know. I'd love to figure out a way to get into El Salvador. If you can handle English. That's the language barrier could be the challenge for me at least. But I'm going to be in Guatemala City for the IEEE Electrical Safety Workshop, which I believe is going to be in October. I'm going to be doing a 4-hour tutorial and possibly a presentation. I believe that's in October, I think. But I would love to see and do whatever I can for you. Robert's saying, Robert, contact me for educational electrical codes. There we go. Robert's willing to fly on down. Yes. Yep. So Guatemala City to El Salvador. How far? How do I do search? How do I do directions? So Guatemala City. Guatem. Guatemala City. And I'm going to do directions. Where's directions? Report. I got a pin. I got download. I want to do directions. What the heck? There it is. Guatemala City. Oh, wait. No. Share my look at Mark. Huh? I can't do directions. Oh, wait. Here we go. Ah. Yeah, David. Guatemala borders on the north with El Salvador. Yeah. And I would love to figure out how do I download more. I want to do directions. Add to guidelines, report, pin, remove. Oh, Guatemala City. More. Pin, report an issue, add a note. Doesn't seem like I can do directions. Yeah, that's what I'm in. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to go on my computer. I don't want to do my, let me go to Start, Maps, and see how far Guatemala City is from El Salvador. Maps. Search. Guatemala City. There it is. Okay. I gotcha. I do that, and then I do Guatemala City. Oh, this is really weird. Google Maps. Okay, Guatemala City, and I do directions, and we'll do El Salvador. We'll go to the airport. Well, if I walk, it's 66 hours. If I drive, it's 5 hours. It's 4 hours and 44 minutes. So, whoop. Steve. Okay, scope 520 is theaters, TV studios. 520.69 requires compliance with A through C, says no current reductions are allowed in A, B, refers to 520.67 for... Okay, so what you're saying, Steve, is if I go to 520, theaters audience, this is funny that panel 15, the panel that deals with healthcare, also covers theaters. So the definition of adapter only applies to Article 520. And you're referencing 520.69. 520.69. Portable stage equipment. So that's in portable stage equipment. Adapters. Twofers. I love it. Twofers. Twofers. Yeah, we have those in West by God, Virginia, too. Twofers. We got 2 twofers. That's all you get in West Virginia is just 2 twofers. And other single multiple circuit outlet devices shall comply with 520.69A, B, and C. Each receptacle and its corresponding cable shall have the same current and voltage rating as the plug supplying it. Connectors, all connectors, where's the adapter? Conductors for adapters and twofers shall be listed extra. What's a twofer? Steve, what's a twofer? Is twofer is twofers? Oh, I gotta look this one up, man. I'm tired, but man, I never heard of a twofer. TWO-FER. So what is a twofer? Okay, a twofer. An item or offer that comprises 2 items but is sold for the price of 1. But there's no dash in that one. Central America between Honduras and Guatemala. Yeah, Juan, mi amigo, es El Salvador de habla inglés en El Salvador, pero or como se dice or, I don't know how to say or, habla español. I don't know. So a twofer, What's funny is it says adapters, twofers, and other single and multiple circuit outlet devices shall comply with A, B, and C. A says no reduction in current rating. Each receptacle and its corresponding cable shall have the same current and voltage rating as the plug supplying it. Okay, so that would be like if you have a cord, which I'm using my, oh no, here we go. So if I have this is my, Steve, this is for demonstration purposes only. If I have a cord, if this was a receptacle, each receptacle and its corresponding cable shall have the same current voltage as the plug that supplies it. So I think that's what they're talking about. It shall not be utilized in a stage circuit with a greater current rating. And then it says connectors. All connectors shall be wired in accordance with 520.67. And then C says conductor type. This would be these conductors. Conductors for adapters and twofers shall be listed extra hard usage. Aren't these extension cords? Why are they calling it an adapter when it sounds to me like it's an extension cord? I'm surprised that the adapters, such as the ones you're using, aren't covered. Yeah, you are permitted to use the reduced current rated adapter. That's what it sounds like to me, because that adapter doesn't have a cord associated with it. But the moment you have a cord, I think what they're worried about is differences of potentials between this end and this end, and what does the and the conductor, what types of conductor are in between. But it sounds to me like it's an extension cord and not an adapter. An extension cord doesn't have to be 20 feet long. It could be 1 foot long. Now there's enhanced content. Let me see what the enhanced content says. Plugs and receptacles must be of the same rating, even though available adapters allow connector bodies to be connected to a plug of a larger rating. For example, a number 12 conductor with an ampacity of 20 amps could be connected to a 100 ampere circuit via an adapter. An overload could result in a fire because the circuit breaker or fuse would not provide adequate protection. So they're just worried about what you're plugging into the adapters, into these extension cords. Twofers is what? Read Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I mean, Google it, man. I don't know. 1. Yes, we'll need Spanish speakers. Hey, have a great weekend, 1. I'll see what I can find out for you. We might be able to help you. Robert, do you know Spanish? Hable de español. Mi español es terrible y poquito. All right, so Steve, yes. Take a look at the defined term, and if I bring it up here, an item or offer that comprises 2 items but is sold for the price of uno. It's a slang. What is a twofer in lighting? Twofer. Twofer, definition and meaning from Merriam-Webster. Let's go to that. 2 articles, something that satisfies 2 criteria or needs simultaneously. A cheap item of merchandise. Oh man, that's like 2 for a nickel. A free coupon. I think there needs to be a better term than a twofer. It could be a slang used in the world of showbiz. I don't know. You can really taste the copper. And let me see if it's a defined term in the code. Twofer. I love this stuff. TWO dash FER. Twofer. It's used in 2 places, and both of them are in 5 article. Wait, all of NFP. There is. Oh my gosh! There's a defined term. There's a defined term for twofer. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. Can I pull up my iPad? Me plus iPad. Let's try this. Double click. Let me see. Camera, TD unplug, desktop. Nope. I think that I need to plug this into my pooter. Let me plug it into my pooter. Okay. Here we go, Steve. You ready for this? Dum 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 dum. All right, here is a twofer. Where's it at? Oh, right here. Up. QRST. TWO. An assembly containing 1 male plug and 2 female cord connectors, used to connect 2 loads to 1 branch circuit. It's a twofer. So we have a defined term. Don't use the Merriam-Webster dictionary. I am glad that Code Panel 15 decided to help us understand what a twofer was. So it's 2 female connectors, but it to me, it sounds like an extension cord, don't you think? There's a picture. Now, what I pictured was different. Did you ever see those extension cords, Steve, that had the 3, like you terminate the conductor where instead of coming out with 2 umbilicals, you have like 1 larger connector where you can plug 3 things into it. So that's what a twofer is right there. There's a twofer. 2 for 1. Down at the Shop and Save. So at least we have a defined term. I've witnessed the TV station environment and the high wattage lights and equipment definitely challenging their electrical systems. I would agree with you. I'm thinking twofer means an adapter with twin outlets from 1 male plug, and you would be correct. You honed in on that this fast. They should have said twin outlet plug or something. Exactly. That is exactly right. They should have called it something different. And I wonder what it's listed to. So I wonder what that is listed to. And I'm not going to go through and find the UL standard, but I highly doubt the UL standard calls it a twofer. And it should be listed. I mean, wouldn't you think that you would want it to be listed? I would think. I mean, come on. Well, I'm getting good strength here. I was sort of surprised that I was able to go live. What's this? Whoop. That's a question. Oh, that's a question. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, look at this. It scrolls. Don't forget to subscribe. So anyway, all right. So, well, it has to comply with 520.69A through C, whatever it is. That's the truth. That is the truth. I just so here's what I think. Let's just talk about panel 15. I'm going to get on my what do they call that? What do they call that? My soapbox. I believe panel 15 needs to be split up. You can't have healthcare people sitting on the standards for movie theaters and carnivals. And you can't have movie theater people and carnival people sitting on the standard that governs healthcare. It doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense whatsoever. I think Article 517 could probably be placed on its own, or move 517 in with to panel 13 with Article 700, 701, 708, and all those other life safety items. Now, somebody would argue that you could argue that that the 517 healthcare people should have their own code-making panel. But I do not think that the people who work on carnivals and the people who work on movie theaters have the expertise for healthcare. I'm just going to go out on that limb, Steve, all by myself, and I'm going to bounce a little bit right there. But I just don't see it happening. So that's my story, and I would go back and look at panel 13 to say what makes sense that panel 13 has and what doesn't. And maybe some things out of panel 13 should go somewhere else. I don't know. Just saying. But I think panel 15 is challenged. 15, healthcare. So that's my gut. My gut says I would, if I was Larry Air for the day, I would go into panel 15 and I would say, okay, guys, we're going to move some things around. We're going to take the carny guys and we're going to take the movie theater people. In fact, I mean, I think that the carnival people and the movie theater, there's a lot of similarity there. You've got a lot of mobile equipment, things like that. I would probably put temporary power. I don't know if I'd move temporary power there. But I would set, you know what I'd do is I would set those articles aside and then see what I end up with once I start moving things around. I would start moving some shelves around. But, and I think I raised this once before with Jeff Sargent. And I think Jeff's concern was that the workload of panel 15, the workload of the healthcare group, and the workload of panel 13 with regard to 700, 701, 708 would exceed the 1 week period. So I think that's the major concern. But, you know, they don't have that same concern with panel 10. They just dump as much as they can on panel 10. And panel 2, what does panel 2 have? Panel 2 has Article 210 and Article 220. So there's a panel that just has 2 articles. Why can't we do the same thing with 517? And there's probably 517. So you got healthcare, right? I would say aircraft hangars. I would put a bunch of these in, but you have healthcare. I'm trying to see what else matches healthcare. I still say panel 13 Panel 13 deals with life safety and reliability. Why wouldn't Panel 13 be looking at healthcare? It doesn't make sense. Robert from Omaha, he is back in the saddle. Well, Robert, I am sitting here. I'm exhausted. I got very little, if any, sleep last night. I dozed off maybe for an hour here in my room. Can't sleep. So I thought I would get technical and set up, because I got to figure out how I'm going to do IAEI News Live on Tuesday. Do I want to record a session, or do I want to go live with me and Nihad? But wherever that is, I got to do it pretty daggone quick, because I think our agenda has our board of directors meeting is going to go through 12 o'clock. And then we got to eat lunch. And if I'm an hour behind, if East Coast is 1 hour behind, that means that I have to go live at 1 o'clock. Well, Nihad doesn't have to eat lunch. He's fasting because of Ramadan. So Nihad's not going to eat. So I could secure him. And that will be Tuesday. And we'll have a dinner planned, so I could go live. I got to talk to Nihad tonight. Today's what, Sunday or Monday? Today's Sunday. Tomorrow's our first meeting. So I'll talk to Nihad tonight, and maybe we'll go live on Tuesday from here in Santiago, Chile. Now let me ask you, is it Chile or is it Chile? I think it's Chile. I don't know. I haven't heard a native person here talk about it, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But we had a great discussion, Robert, Steve and I and crew, about a connector, or what a twofer is. And this product right here, this product is a adapter. This is an adapter. There's nothing in the code that speaks to whether or not you can use this, and any of the rules around it. Steve, healthcare has a large variety of situations within itself. Yep. Carnivals and theaters are so different, but you know, here's my next question, Steve. Do you think that healthcare and commercial so how about assembly occupancies? I don't know. I don't see it being the same. I would, in my humble opinion, I believe that I would take healthcare out on its own, or put it over in Article 700, and put it over on Panel 13 with the 700 people, and shake that group up a little bit, and have a focus on emergency and life-saving systems. You would probably need to introduce some healthcare people on Panel 13, but that's sort of what I would do. But you know what, Steve? No one listens to me, so it don't matter. You know that adapter I bought? So I bought this adapter. This adapter, this thing right here, was $53. $53. Will you believe that? I mean, it is kind of complicated, but man, all I needed was one functionality. I wish that they sold just this. Just this. That's all I needed. But I could use this in multiple countries, so. Anyway, it's an adapter, not covered by the NEC. There's no rules in there. And you know what? You pay $53.49 for it. It was $49.99 with 7% tax. Jeez, oh man. Bobby Joe's going to look at my Discover card and go, what did you buy this for? Well, babe, I needed it. I needed it to power up my camera, my computer, and everything else. All right, guys, listen. I just wanted to run a test. We did, and we talked some code. Steve, thank you for chiming in. Robert, thanks for joining in. We had some good discussions. Steve says, rotating the panel assignments is not a new concept. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. The additional perspective very well could be the additional perspectives could definitely help the code panels out. I know on panel 2 we had that. We had some appliance manufacturers and we had HVAC manufacturers sit on the panel. They brought some good insight to the code panel, so I was not disappointed in their participation. So I was happy, and they brought some good refreshing ideas and thoughts to the panel. So that's always a good thing. So in West by God, Virginia, a twofer. You got twofer, and you have one toothbrush twofer, 2 for 1, right? 2 teeth for 1 toothbrush. Now, the 2 teeth don't have to be right next to each other either. They can be anywhere. They can be top, bottom, all bottom, doesn't matter. It's a twofer. Robert, you need help, buddy. And I am exhausted, so I think I'm probably going to try to. It's 2 o'clock. We don't have dinner until 7. I think I'm going to try to at least fall asleep for a little bit. All right, everybody. I'm going to sign off. The stream is working. It's not having a hard time. And what was funny was I needed less than 10 megabaud, so it was like 7 megabaud. So that's all I needed. So that was I think it all worked out good, Robert. I do believe it worked out good. So I think that I am going to call it a day. I've got to think about how I'm going to do Tuesday. I'll let y'all know. It's either going to be a recorded session or it will be me and Nihad. And I did speak with a gentleman from Google who will be who's up for doing an IAEI News Live on data centers. So that should be cool. And he wants to do it live. I thought he was going to want to record it, but he wants to do it live. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for what you do for the electrical industry. Thanks, Steve, Robert, David Engelhardt. You guys are awesome. Love y'all. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do for the industry, the electrical industry, and for electrical safety. Stay safe, and please, by all means, stay healthy. See you soon.